Make sure, go on a run every once in a while. Hit the gym every once in a while, get a gym membership. Do something. Because if you sit there as a fat, lazy piece of shit, you're going to wonder why you're so depressed. And you're going to wonder why life ain't going good.
If you see a guy in shape, has his shit together, you expect him to be good in everything he does. And while conversely, if you see a fat loser, you expect him to be not good at what he does and his fat's hanging over his waistline. You're like, this guy doesn't have his shit together. He's probably not making much money. Probably doesn't have a girl. Probably a virgin. If you're watching this video, you have lights on, you have running water, you have food in the fridge, you have parents that care about you, you have a warm blanket at night to sleep with. You have no excuse to be a loser and be a fat. There's no excuse whatsoever. There's people trying to cross the border over here, literally dying on their way here while you're complaining about that bitch not texting you back on, DMing you back on Instagram. That's pathetic.
If I become homeless, there's no homeless shelters, by the way. California has the worst fucking homeless problem in the world.
I honestly I thought that was normal.
If you're offended, I don't give a controversial, but like 9/11, the way the buildings went down, like, that looks like a controlled explosion. That curiosity created the conspiracy theory.
It was Steven Spielberg that created E.T. What does he know about aliens?
Yeah.
And I mean, this thing came out in 1982.
Holy
So it's like, it makes you kind of think, like, okay, when you put all these pieces together, and obviously using common knowledge and common sense, you're not going to see that picture of of this alien and then think like, oh, like, that's not real.
Yeah.
But yet you see the movie and it looks just like it.
E.T.
Like this motherfucker right here,
It does.
So it's like
you called me on set? Shit. We're doing conspiracies, okay.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to episode number dose to the reality podcast. My name's Thomas Telfer, and I'm with
Jay the Great. Most of you guys already know me. So.
Then we also have
Payback. Just SB.
And then
Whoa!
you done, my bad.
Yeah, no, you good.
And then we have
Whoa!
Joey Torres.
Joey Torres.
He was drinking something, so it's okay.
well, I gotta get my government name for them.
Joey Telfer. Just kidding.
JT.
At this point,
JT. That's kidding.
But anyways,
Joey Banana.
so we bring
banana. No, just kidding.
we bring episode 2. As you can tell, we are missing a certain person. But like I said earlier, we're not gonna have everybody in the episode every single time. Sometimes it's gonna be 3 of us. It could be 4 of us, 5, or it could just be 2.
Yeah.
Every episode is gonna be a little bit different. But anyways, so how's everybody doing today?
You want to start, Sebastian?
Yeah, go ahead. How's your day, by the way?
My day is starting out pretty good. Chilling relatively. Just woke up and then got a shower.
Yeah.
And you guys had to wait on me. I know that was quite a minute. So.
Another thing I want to mention is sorry for the long wait. We were having technical difficulties with the first episode, and like I said, this is our first time doing a podcast and trying to get things right. We're very, we're limited with the equipment we have, and we're very budgeted too. Yeah. So, we're just trying to work what we can work with, and we're just going to go along as it is. Like I said, from the first episode, you guys are going to be growing with us, and that's just how it's going to be. How's your day, by the way?
Most of you guys that have already subbed know me, but it's on the same grind, the YouTube grind, computer science grind. Most of you guys know me, like I always say. Like, I've done many podcasts, even this format. If you guys have been rocking with me for fucking, years, you guys know what I'm talking about. Most of us were on it, actually. But now we're trying to start something new. I think we're much better well-spoken. I could have talked for shit 4 years ago.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, we've grown a lot. And Thomas said, you guys are going to grow with us and kind of see, the rise. Just like any other podcast when they first start out. So, on the grind. Content for you guys coming in many formats here, my channel. So yeah, stay tuned for all that.
And the cool part is when we're, getting bigger and stuff, and we have our later episodes, we could go back and see this and see how we did, all our mess ups and shit, laugh at it just a little bit.
Yeah. Just a little. I don't know.
Look at my old videos, I look like shit, talk like shit, fucking.
Also, keep in mind, too, you guys go ahead and follow our Instagram, our Twitter.
Yeah.
We're going to be posting on Rumble. We haven't, and this is Kobe, by the way. Kobe, out the living room.
This is the podcast dog.
Out. Let's go, out.
It's not Kobe.
I'm gonna like trap him in the room.
Oh, yeah, I forgot to trap him out. Out! Come on. Nah, but she's smart though. She knows that too.
She knows.
Do I know?
Might as well check the camera.
Yeah, check the camera.
Here, put her
Recording?
in the room.
Nah, don't lock her in the room. It's fine.
Lock her in the room.
We'll give her one more strike. If she does, then she's roomed.
Yeah.
Then she's roomed. One more strike. Kobe, stay out the living room. Anyway, sorry about that mishap. But that's the podcast dog. I have another podcast dog roaming around the city, but we'll see her eventually.
Yeah.
How's your day, by the way?
Good. Tired. Just need some low key want to take a nap, but it's good. Working like usual. Things are a little. I don't want to say they're not bad, but they're not great. Some guys, I'm kind of just same spot as I was before.
Right.
But yeah, definitely just trying to move up and keep on doing new things.
That's right.
The grind. Yeah.
I've been doing pretty good. I got a second job now. I work at a coffee shop. I still train to fight. I'm going to be fighting soon. I think last episode I said it was like June 3rd. I was wrong. It was June 22nd. Kobe, stay out the living room. No, out.
Strike two.
Out. One more strike. You two. First strike.
This is your other podcast.
All right. Her name is Blue, is a husky. The one you just saw earlier is named Kobe. But all right, out. Come on. Get out of here. Anyways. So yeah, earlier before we started this episode, we were discussing on how we want to attack the reality podcast and what we're going to end up doing. And like we said earlier, we're thinking about so we're going to have our main podcast episodes, obviously on YouTube and everywhere else. The main category from 1, 2, 3 that explains all our different topics. But then we're also going to have eventually a different section of videos that might talk about just specifically one topic from all different videos. So if we talk about like theories, we might get a bunch of different clips from all the other episodes and just keep it in that category for an episode. We'll worry about that a little later on. We're still on episode 2, so we have a lot of shit to work on before we even get there. But also, follow our social media platforms if you're into just a short clips or little motivational videos and whatnot. That's a great way to just kind of, you gotta. Sorry for the distraction, everybody. We're good?
Yeah, we're good.
But yeah. And as you can saw from the last video too, our lighting was kind of off, so we're gonna try this one. If this one's not enough, then we're gonna try something else. We're like we said, we're going along as it is.
Experimenting. Yeah. So.
And new camera angle.
Yeah, new camera angle. Basically, like Thomas said, we're gonna have full-length episodes like this one. Obviously, we're gonna have medium clips like 15, 20 about a specific topic, and then obviously the immediate gratification length, which is like a minute. TikTok, Shorts, Instagram Reels. Basically, trying to build the best sort of paradigm for the best chance to increase traffic. So this full length, medium clips, and then obviously which will get the most traffic out first, the minute long, 30 second long clips here and there too. So it's experiment. We're experimenting.
We're all experimenting. We might change our mind next time.
Yeah.
Damn, they're trying to get out.
Oh shit. Let's put the heavy ass one in front of him.
Well, just so real quick, anything new going on with you guys? Anything crazy?
Nothing new, really, relatively, except this.
Yeah. I know you're quite in debates right now.
Yeah. If you guys already know what's been happening.
By the way, I called a magliner.
Oh damn!
Don't worry about that, guys.
But yeah, you guys already know, and on the anime side of things, anime community, I've been in beefs all year. Shout out to Batman, and you're probably watching this. Shout out to you, brother, as well, and Shinobi. Those are the guys on the other podcast. Maybe eventually we'll do a virtual thing. We'll get them out here somehow one day, or maybe even in person one day. Fuck it. But me and a certain someone, I'm not gonna say his name because fuck him. You guys know exactly what I'm talking about. Came to my server. I sunned him. He almost cried about it. Cry more. I know you're probably watching this. You watch everything I do because you're a fucking pussy. But yeah, so that's been going on. I'm making more content for you folks. I might get my first sponsored video. Shout out to you know who you are as well. Shout out to you, bro, for possibly doing that. So yeah, that side of things are going great. Debates are coming. I have some other form of content. That's all on that side. Go over there if you want to figure out, and then we have this. It's a work in progress. So when I started my channel too, it was the same thing. It was a very tedious process. It took many attempts until something clicked, which was the anime. So
this is almost like the Avengers. You have your separate superheroes with their own stories.
Yeah.
I would say yours is one of the main ones because you've been starting your channel for quite some time.
Yeah. Years.
So he has a bunch of subscribers going on, and he has his own content. So definitely give him a follow too, and check out his little platforms.
Yeah.
It's very interesting too, especially his debates. You should see it. Most of you can never talk like that. But
including you. You know you are a fucking pussy. You can't talk like that at all. You never will.
But yeah, we come together and we're just, what's up?
If you don't mind a good roast, you know, you just go into.
Yeah, if you like hearing roasting, you know, definitely check his channel out too. We'll probably end up getting roasting involved in this. We'll see what's up.
Yeah,
Something I want to do separately that I do want to mention one day, I think I mentioned it too in the first episode, is I want to make my own channel about like short films and shit. But I think right now I'm too busy to even get to even somehow put any energy into that.
Yeah.
So that's going to have to be for the future.
Like RDC. Shout out to RDC. Legends.
But anyway, so I guess let's just get started with some of the first topics. One of the topics I wanted to mention about was, I have a little notes right here. I'll let you guys see. I'm not supposed to, but I should. Oh, also, you know, I want to keep in mind, everybody, all of you guys should always be going to the gym. I know it's a bit random, but I feel like there's no excuse to not do something physical in your life. I think every time you, whatever career you have, whatever path you're trying to go in, staying healthy is one of the main things you need to do.
Yeah.
So for everyone out there, make sure you at least put some type of dedication throughout the week. I'm not saying go ham and be a professional fighter at all, you know, that's different. But make sure, go on a run every once in a while. Hit the gym every once in a while, you know, get a gym membership, do something. Because if you sit there as a fat, lazy piece of shit, you're going to wonder why you're so depressed. And you're going to wonder why life ain't going good. And it's because you don't do anything good for your body. If you're physically in shape and you're physically feeling better about yourself, it's going to help you mentally.
Yeah,
you know?
exactly. So, yeah, that's basically the first theme, like Thomas said, is fitness. I would say this, even from a biological standpoint, your mind adapts to what you put it through. So the more stress you put upon yourself, the more it forges even biologically. There's this term in neuroscience called neuroplasticity, where your literal neurons will actually adjust to how you live. If you're a fat fucking loser, piece of shit, it's going to adjust to that, and you're going to be a weak fucking timid ass fucking pussy ass loser, just like someone we know. I'm not going to say his name again. But if you put yourself through strenuous activity, lifting weights, running, even mental sort of tedious things like school, whatever, your mind adjusts to that. And when you do go endure stress again, you're ready. Because if you're someone that's a fucking fat fucking loser, obviously at first it's going to suck. Your mind's not adjusted to it. Your body's not adjusted to it. The lactic acid buildup. After a while, though, your body adjusts and you become a machine. I think with fitness, from a physical standpoint, you're able to do other things in life, and you learn values from the gym itself, or fighting, or sports. You learn discipline, you learn consistency, commitment, and then you bring that into, whether that's your professional life, your relationships, you bring that all with you, and your life just overall better. That's why physical fitness of any kind should be implemented in your life. Even, again, you don't have to be a fucking professional bodybuilder, but just even if it's sprinkled in there, it'll help your everyday life, not just your physical health. So
it also shows the type of dedication you have too. Yeah. When you're like talking to somebody who's trying to sell you something, who would you rather listen to? A fat dude or a dude who's hella in shape?
Yeah.
And the reason why you would want to listen to the guy in shape is, besides whoever knows what they talk about most, it shows that he's dedicated to something, that he has some type of discipline. You know, usually the fat car dealership people, they're not very good at selling, you know? And if you notice what they're trying to do half the time is they try to use their words, but just looking at their presence is never really good.
It's like
enough.
a practice what you preach kind of thing.
Exactly.
Type of thing, yeah.
Yeah, basically, this is...
shows discipline.
I'm bringing my debate side, but when you see good... I'll just use a mathematical analogy. If you see a bunch of high numbers, you expect more high numbers to come. So if you see a guy in shape, has his shit together, you expect him to be good in everything he does, and while conversely, if you see a fat fucking loser, you expect him to be not good at what he does and not very just high level at anything he really does in his life. So just being in having physical fitness, your very aura, I guess you could say, is different.
The
energy. So you walk into a room, you're in shape. People are gonna automatically assume, oh, this guy's a shit together, probably has some money, et cetera, et cetera. Well, conversely, if you're a fat fucking loser, his fucking fat's hanging over his fucking waistline, and you're like, this guy's doesn't have a shit together. He's probably not making much money. Probably doesn't have a girl. Probably virgin.
It shows. It really shows.
Yeah. So, image is very important. I would say more so for women. Well, physically, but for men, image is very important just to get your foot in the door in a lot of things, whether it's professional life, network of people that actually have a shit together. They're not gonna let you in if you're a fat fucking loser, etc. So it all comes together. It's all like one big puzzle that you gotta solve.
And one thing I want to mention too is, people nowadays, well, I wouldn't even say nowadays, it's throughout life. A lot of people give up. Don't give up.
Yeah.
You can't give up. The one thing I just like that pisses me off mostly is when people always give up and have something else to blame. Pointing the finger. And like that famous saying, you know, you point a finger of why, you got three or four of them pointing back.
Yeah.
I think it's 3 because I don't know how it works.
Yeah.
But you know, you have yourself to blame for when things aren't working out. Even for the smallest details, you can't be blaming other people or other situations why you're not doing the things you're supposed to do. So basically what I'm trying to talk about is self-accountability. The best way to get through life is if you blame yourself for literally everything you've done. For all the good times and for the bad times. Maybe it wasn't completely your fault why you got in that situation, but there was somewhere along the board where you made a mistake that got you there to begin with, you know? Like the tape guy said.
Yeah.
You know, if it's raining outside and you got wet, it's still yourself to blame. You could have got an umbrella or a raincoat, whatever it is.
Exactly.
You know, there's a bunch of different things to do to try to take accountability for that. And when you start taking that self-accountability, you start you stop blaming your, how can I put this? You start you just think a lot better.
Yeah.
You stop thinking negative, because the worst thing you could do is speaking negative, having a negative mindset. Well, you're choking on my words over here. Man.
Yeah.
But, so yeah, basically don't give up and don't be a bitch.
Yeah.
Stop being a bitch, because if you start blaming other people too, you look really bad. If you don't take no self-accountability at all, like, then what do you do?
Yeah,
you know?
I'd say...
How are you going to get better?
Yeah, this is a philosophy I've said hundreds of times at this point here and on my podcast, everywhere. I say, you have two choices, binary choices, man. You can live with the pain of regret from not ever attempting something, or you can live with the pain of stress, which is required on the journey to success. So you have two choices in life. As far as accountability is one of the first steps to reach success. Here's the thing, you can only control what you can control. So what's the point of complaining or wallowing about things that are outside of your control? It's not going to fix anything in any such way. Whether it's a woman's fault or your friend's fault, fucking the economy, whatever the fuck it is. Stop complaining about it. Stop blaming other people. I think a lot of people around our age, and I think most people watching this are around our age, don't look at themselves in the mirror enough. Here's the truth. What you have is plenty. If you're in a first world country, if you're watching this fucking video, you have lights on, you have running water, you have food in the fridge, you have parents that care about you, you have a warm blanket at night to sleep with. You have no fucking excuse to be a fucking loser and be a fucking fat fuck. There's no excuse whatsoever. There's people trying to cross the border over here, literally fucking dying on their way here while you're complaining about that bitch not texting you back on, DMing you back on Instagram. That's fucking pathetic. I'm sorry.
It is pathetic. That's
the kind of perspective you have to have if you want to reach the top level. If you want to be average, fine. The economy stays above water because of average people. If you want to be the top of your field, the top of anything in any such a discipline, you're gonna have to get your shit together. You're gonna have to be you're gonna have to be your harshest critic. It can't be your dad, it can't be your mom, it can't be your girl, your friends, it's gotta be you. You gotta look yourself in the mirror, say, I'm a fat fuck. I'm a fucking loser. You gotta be that harsh with yourself, because the world, here's the truth, if you're not harsh with yourself, you're gonna get checked by what everyone gets checked by, which is reality. It's gonna check your ass.
Time to face reality.
Yeah, a bitch gonna reject you. That job's gonna deny you. Your grades are gonna slip. You're gonna be a fucking loser. Maybe even your health. If you're obese, your health could be on the line. So you have to stop blaming everybody else. Look yourself in the mirror. Dust yourself off. Fucking adjust. If you're not from privilege, you don't have a job because your dad didn't get you that job. Your friend has a better car than you. Stop fucking complaining, bro. Go get your own car. That's the way you gotta think. You gotta have that mindset to where you're as efficient as possible. Efficiency is what makes success. It's not one big godlike moment like, oh my god, this guy's godlike. It's small steps done right, day after day after day. Honestly, for most people, it's years, day after day after day. Unless you're super lucky or you're a trust fund baby, it's gonna take fucking years, dude. You're not gonna make it tomorrow, next week, or even next month, or even next year. To be fucking honest with you, it's gonna take 3, 5, 10 fucking years. If you're not willing to do that, then again, be average. It is what it is, but don't complain.
And let's get another thing out the way too. We got to get the word motivation out of our minds, because motivation is temporary. It doesn't last, and it's never gonna last. What really matters is when you really don't want to do it and you do it anyways.
Yeah.
The best thing you could do is, man, I don't feel like going to the gym and I don't want to work, but if you go and work and go to the gym anyways, you feel a lot better, because the people who say that they don't want to do it and end up not doing it, you're doing better than them already.
Yeah.
You know, all these great fighters, all these great people who made it to the top, it's because at their worst moments, they went and did it anyways. That's the best thing you could do, because like I said, motivation is temporary and it will never stay. And if you always have this mindset like, oh, I couldn't do it because I can't find the motivation, then you're going to stay in the fucking bottom and you're going to stay as a bitch compared to everyone else who doesn't have that mindset at all.
Exactly.
It's called being disciplined. You just got to go every day, do the thing you fucking hate doing. I hate running, but I make sure I run the most. So, you know, I fight, so I have to run. And that's just a part of it, you know? If I said no, then I wouldn't be where I'm at right now.
I am undisciplined. I have to take a whiz and I can't hold it.
Oh, you're good. Do your thing.
But yeah, so as far as discipline versus motivation, motivation's temporary for sure. Discipline is what will get you to success because motivation is fleeting. Just like most emotions are fleeting. You got to become, I've said this before, stoicism as a man is very important. You got to become iron framed no matter what day, what type of day you're having, whether it's the best day, the worst day, shit day, a slow day. It doesn't matter what the fuck type of day it is. You got to put the work in. And that's where discipline comes in. Because there's most days you're either going to feel all right or feel like shit. Not very many days you feel like, oh my God, I feel like I got fucking rocket fuel in my system. Most of the days you're not going to want to do something.
It's a nice boost.
Yeah, the boosts are great. The boosts are fucking great.
Take advantage of it.
Take advantage of it, but it's not going to last. What's going to last is the guy that goes to the gym every fucking day, rain, sleet, or snow, the guy that goes to work every fucking day, puts in overtime, the guy that's studying in the dark when everyone's partying, being fucking losers, getting high. That's the guy that wins, not the people that are having this one little boost of motivation. They have like one good week, maybe one good month max, and they're back to their fucking average lifestyle and their average pace and average sort of productivity level. The guys that are at it every day that you probably don't even know about right now are the guys 5 years to 10 years from now are going to be at the top.
Oh yeah,
so
big time.
You only see the product. You don't see the sort of process. That's the difference. People think that, oh, this guy's just better than me. He's just smarter, stronger. Now, the reality is, they're probably not much smarter than you or stronger than you or physically more gifted than you. They just work harder than you. That's the difference.
Oh, yeah.
That's what separates the greats from the average is your productivity. It's not how smart you are. It's not your fucking IQ. Like I said in the last podcast, I know guys that are super talented that are fucking losers. And I know guys that are not that bright that are living it up because they never quit. That's the difference. So you got to keep that into perspective. And truth is, the life's competitive sport. So you got to decide.
It is competitive.
You got to decide how bad do you want it. That's the real question every man has to answer.
And another thing is, have a sense of pride too. Everyone should have a sense of pride. I mean, if you think about it, what about all the people in your past? You know, all your family back then who were fighting these wars and doing this. You know, they had to deal with the middle of wars and all this shit. And you're over here living good. And you just have no pride for yourself? I mean, doesn't it feel like shit when you're sitting at home doing fucking nothing when you know deep down you should be going out to the gym or doing this or doing that?
Yeah.
I think it feels a lot worse when you know you're supposed to do these things and you just do nothing anyways.
Yeah.
So have a sense of pride, especially for you anime people who watch Dragon Ball and all that shit, you know? You can't sit there behind the screen, man, if I was doing this, bro, if I was in the anime world, I would be training every day. Why don't you do that now?
Exactly.
You know, have a sense of pride, listen to the people that you're motivated by, and actually take their word for it and go out and do the things you're supposed to do.
Exactly.
You know?
Yeah.
Consistency. Pretty much is just stay as consistent as you can, because at the end of the day, it'll be the best thing that you can be doing.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna even I can't even talk correctly today, so it's all good.
I think as far as discipline, your why is definitely important. The right why. Honestly, money's not gonna. Wanting just money's not gonna do it. Mm-hmm. Wanting just bitches is not gonna be enough. Those whys are temporary. They're not gonna push you through the days you feel like shit for years on end. What's gonna push you, mostly selfless whys, your family, your bloodline, that one person that you're trying to save, whatever it is. Those whys will push you to greatness. So I would say the right why is huge. The right why is huge. Right. When you're young, we're all just naive, and biologically we're going to be predisposed to be selfish. We've all been there, 15, 16, 17. We're all fucking only thinking about our own little world in high school. That shit is a fucking facade, man. Once you're out of there, you see the real big blue world. No one gives a fuck about you. That's the real reality. No one, besides your mom and maybe your dad, no one gives a fuck about you. That's just true.
Yeah. The only person who cares about you is going to be you. Yeah. You're going to have to get yourself out of the bed and make sure you do the things you're supposed to do. Exactly.
So discipline is probably the biggest thing. Your why and your discipline is the biggest thing. And you got to ask, every guy has to ask themselves this: how bad do you want it? If you're not willing to get up in the morning, maybe you just don't want it that bad. You got to be honest with yourself, man.
You got to be a bit obsessed with the goals you have.
You got to be obsessed. Most people are going to be like, what the hell's wrong with you? That's the level you got to be on of discipline. Once people are like, what the fuck's wrong with you? You never go out, you never party, you live to work, you don't work to live. You're damn right I do. That's what you should tell them. Fuck you. I'm gonna outwork you. Here's the thing about friends too, which is I think is important. When you have friends that are not like you, they don't have that mindset. Every time you're around them and you're more successful, the lights are shining bright on you. They might even resent you because you're doing what you're reaching a level that they want to reach, but you're doing what they're not willing to do. So every time they see you, they're gonna be like, "Oh man, you think you're all that? You think you're arrogant? You're this, blah blah blah." It's like, no, I'm making you look at yourself in the mirror. I'm what you want to be, but you're not doing. I'm doing what you're not willing to do. That's the difference. That's when you got to change friends, by the way.
Yeah.
The right people around you is key too. Discipline, your why, your circle. It should be small, especially if you're young. You don't need a fuck ton of friends. Honestly, not to be mean, you don't need a bitch in your life. Unless you're already kind of like grandfathered in, like a high school sweetheart, don't go looking for hoes. Hoes
shouldn't be a main concern.
Yeah, this is what I'll say about women. Women, they will hamper your ambition. No shade on women, but women are biologically designed to want protection, to be served, and to be provided for. They don't give a fuck about your ambition. They want what they want. So what's ironic to me is the reason they fall for you is because you're ambitious, you're dominant, whatever it is, whatever reasons they are. But then they tell you, "Oh, baby, don't go gym, don't go to work today." That you can't listen to that. That's why you got to be a leader, have the right why, have the discipline, just to follow your lead. That's the way it has to be, and that's how you reach new levels of success. Again, the right why will do that. If your why is a bitch and pussy, you're gonna fail. I promise you, you're gonna fail. A woman will not lead you to success. Most women. I'm not saying all women. Again, I'm not throwing shade on women. The truth is, women and men want different things. We have adversarial wants and needs. That's just the way it is. Every man has to realize that, or you're gonna be a fucking cuck-ass little chained-up dude, just like a certain someone. Again, I'm not gonna say his name. Fuck you. But that's just a reality, and you gotta accept it. It's really that simple. So
yeah, pretty much we just want to spread a message out there. Be the best you that you can be. Stop making excuses for yourself, because that'll only bring you down a bigger hole than you might already be in.
Yeah.
And you really just have to rely on you, especially when you're alone in the dark. It's the best thing you could do is try to be the best you. Pretty much, that's all I can really say. Is don't make excuses anymore.
The
that's
dark.
All there is.
Yeah. Another thing. Speaking of the dark, a lot of guys always want to escape reality. They want partying, bitches, smoking, getting intoxicated to escape their real life because they're not happy with themselves. A lot of guys are I think Joe Rogan said this, they live lives of quiet desperation. They escape their reality, they live for their weekends, they dread the weeks because they're living a life they don't want to live, doing a job they don't want to do because they don't put in the work they're supposed to do. So they escape, parties, bitches, intoxication, drugs, because they want to escape that reality. But when they go home and they lay down in their bed, they look up at the ceiling, it's quiet, no one gives a fuck about you anymore. That's your real life. And that's when if you're happy in that position, you're doing something right. If you're alone at night, looking in the mirror, and you actually like what you're becoming, you're doing something right. If you're escaping that, trying to avoid, I don't want to look at myself, I don't want to think about what I have to do on Monday. Yeah. You're doing the wrong fucking thing. You're not on the right path. You have to be, again, tough. You gotta build that, forge your character, like a blacksmith. Forge your character, make yourself a tougher type of exterior. Exactly. Everything falls into place, man. It's just gonna take work. There is no magical formula. Again, unless you're a trust fund baby or you won the lottery, it's gonna take fucking time. It's gonna fucking suck. You're gonna miss fucking parties. You're not gonna be able to fuck that bitch on Saturday. You're not gonna get high. You're not gonna drink. You're gonna have to not buy that chain, not buy that nice car. You have to buy a used car. That's what it takes. That's what it takes, and that's the reality. That's the reality. Most people don't like hearing that. They bitch and moan about it, but that's the reality. The winners just do what they have to. While the average guy, which is most guys, they bitch and complain. So whether it's about women, about guys doing better than them, whether about their situation, you have the winners and losers. It's that simple. Life is very binary. It's actually very simple. It's not a fucking rocket science.
It really is very simple. It's a very easy answer. You just have to put in the work. You just have to do the same thing every day over and over until you hit your answer.
Yeah.
And one thing I think we should also do is also appreciate the little things you do have in life. The little wins you do make. Because, if you sit there, being negative all the time and you tend to forget all the little things you do have, Appreciate the little friend groups you do hang out with. The little moments you have with your mother and father, if you still have them there, because you're not going to be with everyone forever. You're going to end up, one day your parents are going to end up passing away. Yeah.
It's reality.
So you just got to appreciate the little things you do have in life, but at the same time working hard and being hard on yourself to make sure you're winning. Yeah. And make your ancestors proud.
Yeah.
Simply just make everyone proud, you know? I want to make my dad proud and my mom proud and my friends proud because at the end of the day, I want to make sure if I'm going up, everyone's going up with me too.
Exactly.
Just have a sense of pride like I was saying earlier because, I mean, we're humans, you know? We survived through the fucking caveman eras. We've had war with each other, nuclear war with each other. We've gone through it with human history.
Exactly.
So...
yeah, just imagine this. This doesn't push you. You're just a bitch. I'm sorry. Imagine you have this great grandfather who's a fucking war veteran, Purple Heart, World War I vet, and he sees you right now and you're some fucking loser crying over a bitch that didn't DM you, jerking off on Pornhub. What do you think he'd think? He'd think that you're a pathetic fucking loser that he had to die for. He was in war in the real trenches, fucking eating shit every day, fighting off whatever World War I enemies were. I think it was Japan or whatever the fuck it was. While you're jerking off on Pornhub crying about a bitch that doesn't give a fuck about you in a first world country with lights on, running water, food. Well, again, he was in the fucking trenches getting shot at. That's pathetic, dude. Think about that. Put that into perspective. Stop thinking about that bitch, dude.
And that's another thing I actually want to... another thing I want to bring up real quick is about porn.
Yeah.
Get off it.
Get the fuck off
Get off it.
Right
because it's really brain rotting. It's going to mess you up, and it's going to mess you up in bed.
Yeah.
You know, I get it. Everyone has little urges, and especially when it comes to sex. But really, sex isn't that big of a deal to begin with. It's like drinking water. You're thirsty sometimes, you have it, then you don't really want it anymore until you get thirsty again. You really like getting your little pee-pee wet?
Exactly.
It doesn't really matter.
Yeah. Porn is fucking... it's poison, dude. There's even neurological studies from neuroscientists that compare a drug addict to a porn addict. It's the same shit. It's fucking drug. It's just virtual, and it's something that's not actually... like tangible. It's a fucking intangible drug that you watch every day. It desensitizes you to real sex.
Yeah.
And a lot of guys, even young guys, have erectile dysfunction when they're fucking a chick that's right in front of them and they can't get it up because they're thinking about some pornographic fucking film that's fake as fuck.
And let me tell you something too. You're not going to be able to do the same things that you saw in that film.
Fuck no.
You might be getting so used to watching some hardcore sex and they're over here doing this crazy ass shit, so when you actually do get in the bed with someone, you're going to realize like that doesn't happen. Yeah. That's all for show.
It's fake.
It's all fake. So when you get to it, you know, you're wondering why you can't get it up. It's because your expectations are now up here after watching such crazy ass videos. So when you realize true expectations are right about down here, it's not the same. It's just not the same.
Exactly.
So the best thing you could do is stay away from it as much as you can, because it will help you when it comes to your sex life. It will also help you when it comes to making decisions too, because it kind of does fuck with your mind a bit. People will, if you do it too much, it'll just throw you off the wrong path.
Yeah.
So try your best to stay away from it, and don't be a fucking weirdo.
Yeah, porn, dude. Porn desensitizes you. It makes you weaker. And overall, you crave that immediate gratification, that stimulus. A guy needs to be able to control his vices. Every man has a vice. Most guys, it's women. Even myself, back in the day, I had a vice that was just women. But you have to control that. You got to say no to it, because the more you feed into it, the harder it is to say no. The harder it is to control it. If you keep watching porn every fucking day, jerking your little dick off to fucking bitches, and when you're a real bitch, you can't get it up, you got to stop watching that shit, man. That shit is toxic. I think
it's bad for you.
There should definitely be more filtering. This is all political shit, but
I know, like basically in one of the stories, like use your energy more like productive.
Exactly.
That's another thing too, is where you aim your energy.
Yeah.
You know, don't waste and aim your energy doing nothing or porn or trying to, like what you were saying earlier, trying to find reasons to go out so you could avoid doing what you're supposed to do. Use all that pent up energy to do the things you're supposed to do, you know?
Yeah.
If you can't sleep at night and you're feeling kind of weird, maybe go on the computer and work what you're supposed to do. Or do whatever you're supposed to do, study a little bit, and then go to sleep. You know, sometimes we just can't go to sleep. And you can't do anything about it. And what I realized, the best thing I could do if I can't go to sleep is just try to be as productive as I can, whether it's studying something. Because eventually when you study enough, or you're doing something, you're actually putting some energy into something, you'll get tired.
Yeah.
So this bullshit of people saying, oh, I can't go to sleep because of this, it's because you have your energy and your mindset elsewhere. Exactly. It's because you're not doing the things you're supposed to do. That's why you can't sleep. Yeah. It's full of shit. You're full of shit. So stop being full of shit and just do what you're supposed to do. As simple as that.
Yeah, routine is super key. Most guys' routines are all fucked up around our age. They're trying to escape. Oh, yeah. Like I said, they're trying to escape, have fun, have as much immediate gratification as possible. But what do they sacrifice? Time, possible money making, possible improvements in health, intelligence, etc., knowledge. You're wasting all of that because you want immediate gratification. All these things that that will help you get to long-term success take time. They all take time. Immediate gratification, unless again you win the fucking lottery, it's not gonna help you. Porn, drugs, that bitch that's taking you away from.
Don't make women your main
time.
focus at all, because that will definitely throw you off the path that you're trying to go for. The best thing you could do is sometimes you just have to do everything alone for a little bit. You have to get off social media. You have to separate from certain friends that you know that's not good for you, and you got to stop talking to all those girls that are just leading you on.
Yeah.
Just go, once you're at the bottom in the dark and it's just you, that's when you start really putting in the work. Make that effort to build up your character, because once you level up and everything starts working its way up, you start meeting new friends that are actually good for you. You start actually meeting girls that are good for you, and having money.
Yeah.
But don't only do it for the girls. That's gonna be later on.
Exactly.
If you focus on doing the things you're supposed to do for the right reasons, girls will just come. They'll just come.
They'll come to you.
They're attracted to that.
Yeah.
So
women
work hard.
Yeah, work hard. Women bet on the best horse they can bet on.
Yeah.
So you become the best horse, the best catch, or whatever you want to call it, the biggest fish in the ocean. They're gonna come to you. You don't need to do shit. Now, here's one thing that a lot of young guys don't realize is that your value as a man is not dependent upon how many women you could sleep with or fuck. That's not what your value is dependent upon. What's it dependent upon is what you can create for the world to take in, what you can contribute to society. That's what your value comes from. That's where the respect comes, the women come, the money comes, the success, etc. It's not how many bitches you could sleep with.
Oh yeah.
There's guys that are broke as fuck that have game. They can pull bitches, but they can't keep one because they're broke as fuck. They have no crib, no car, no job, and the girls just, they get a little charmed and they realize he's a fucking loser. The guys that pull are the guys that honestly are not even trying and they're on their grind. The girls follow them. Mm-hmm. Then you become the catch. At first, there's this race that's being ran between a man and a woman. But when they turn 18, they're way ahead. They're way the fuck ahead because of options, social media, DMs, the fact that beauty you don't have to earn beauty. A guy at 18 is a fucking loser. No one gives a fuck about them. Probably with their parents, no money, no car, no job. Level 1. Well, girls start in level 100. But if you do things the right way, by the time you're 30, 35, you're on a whole nother level. And they're chasing you. You're winning the race at that point. But again, it's not easy to get to that level. It's not easy. Most guys settle. So most guys get complacent. Most guys give up. Most guys don't even try because they're scared of what risk entails of. Risk means there's a possibility of being harmed. There's a possibility of discomfort. There's a possibility that things won't go your way. There's a possibility you're gonna eat shit and fall on your face. Mm-hmm. That's what comes with it. You gotta be willing to put that in. Honestly, I'd rather say I tried instead of what if.
But that's why you develop a reflex to those things too. That's why you learn and adapt to avoid those situations. That way you become a better person overall.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, failure at first stings, but once you learn how to mitigate it, it's more like getting hit with pebbles. You're like, oh, fuck it. Like, this shit stings a little bit, but it's still going to stop me.
You're going to have to learn how to take the damage. Yeah. And that's the one thing that most successful people do is they go through this grind, and if you weren't able to take any of the losses, then you would just lose in general. Yeah. All these people that are millionaires and are up at the top, they learned how to deal with these losses. Yeah. And that's really all it is. It's learning how to take damage and keep going. So you got to make sure you're able to take all this damage that's hitting you and just repair yourself and keep going anyways. Because if you just let the damage get to you and then you just give up and stop, well, guess what? You're dead. You lost.
Yeah, it's over. Quit. You got to, no matter who you are, again, unless you're super lucky, you're going to fail on your way to success. There's no way around it. Tom Brady did. No one thought he'd be shit. 7th round pick. Michael Jordan got cut from varsity in high school. Sure. Fucking Jeff Bezos had to start out fucking selling books in some shit little van. Now look at him. Like, you're gonna start from fucking nowhere, eating shit. No one giving a fuck about you.
Oh, McGregor is a good point too.
McGregor was a plumber on welfare with his wife. Like, no one's gonna give a fuck about you until you put in the work. Long days, long nights, doubts, failure, sadness from just. Honestly, the worst part is probably desolation or isolation. You're gonna be isolated. Most people don't go through that. Again, most people are in the clubs getting fucked up, wasting their time. You're gonna be in the lab in the dark. No one giving a fuck about you, silent as shit, while putting the work in. And again, no one's gonna give a fuck about you for most of the time until you make it. Then people will care. Again, that shouldn't be your why anyway. Your why should be to provide for your family, to prove those fuckers, the hate is wrong, whatever it is. That's your why, not what people think. Who gives a fuck what people think? Most people are average. Why care what they think anyway? It's that simple. So
whether you're religious or not, I believe do right by God.
Yeah.
I know not everyone is religious, like I said, but you should the reason why I think religion is really good is because it helps you kind of, like, it helps you with your morals.
Yeah, and like good foundation.
Yeah.
You know, people who are not religious at all, and like, no offense to you, but if you're not following some type of, like a creed? Nah,
like a manual?
Like a manual?
Yeah.
You most of those people who claim to be atheists usually tend to fall off the wrong path. And they're usually doing bad, you know? And that's like the worst thing you could do in humanity is just, oh, I don't believe in anything, so I'm going to do wrong. It doesn't matter. That's wrong.
Yeah.
You know?
Basically,
if you have a religion, follow it. And another thing I want to mention is don't be lazy. Don't have lazy religion. You can say you believe in God, but don't follow any of it. That doesn't mean you're religious at all.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, you can't just go to heaven just because, like, oh, I believe in a God and that's it. Nah, I feel like you have to put in the work for it. I can't say for every religion. I know every religion is also different. For Catholic, from what I hear, is just because you believe in God doesn't mean you go to heaven. You actually have to do communion, and you have to do these little things to be able to work your way up.
Rest in peace, my boy Stephen Hawking, right? Because he was atheist.
Yeah.
But it's like a relationship. It is exactly like a relationship. Yeah. You know, you can't say like, oh yeah, I have a girlfriend, I love her, but then you're like, you don't do anything with her, you don't pay for her, you're cheating or whatever. Like, you're just doing whatever and you never do anything with her. That's not a girlfriend. That's just somebody you fuck every once in a while.
Yeah, exactly.
That's a side piece.
Yeah.
You don't. That's different.
Yeah. Religion is. Again, we're not here to shove a specific religion down your throat, but religion provides structure. I think structure, especially for young people that don't know about the world yet, how it operates, especially from like a societal standpoint, religion provides, again, a manual to how to live your life. And most, at least popular religions, provide a good manual. Again, whether it's Islam or Christianity or Jews or whatever it is, it provides a good manual on how to operate as a person in society. And most of them have similar parallel core values like discipline, honesty, honor. Like all those things they're all iterated in all of them.
No stealing amongst others.
Yeah,
Anything
like the Ten Commandments. That's like the universal like manual for most first world countries. You know, don't kill, don't steal, be loyal, etc., etc. I think structure is important. That's why again going back to the idea of structure, a nuclear family household is the best set up for success for any child. If it's just a one-parent household, they have a better chance of being a criminal, being a degenerate. Well, if you have a father and mother, they have a better chance of success. Structure is important. Build structure around your life. With discipline comes structure, because you build routine, you build structure, you build a system that you put in place that works. If you're just a chaotic fucking loser that just does shit on the whim, you're adrenaline junkie, you're not going to get anywhere.
And don't only go to God whenever you need help.
Yeah.
That's probably real annoying. Imagine I just went up to you, I'm like, hey man, I need money. And then I never talk to you. Then I come back, hey man, I need this. And then I leave again, and then I come back, hey man, I need that.
Yeah.
You're not really real of a person, are you? So that's why you got to do the little teeny tiny works. If whatever religion you are, and it says you need to do specific little things for that religion, do it. It's the best thing you could do. When you make little prayers, don't just ask for things, but also talk about all the things you appreciate that's in your life. Say little mini prayers that's part of whatever religion you are. I'm getting more religious myself, and I'm going to be doing communion soon, but I have to wait till like December apparently.
Yeah.
For that thing to start. So that's just me. I mean, I believe everyone should be religious. It doesn't even matter what religion you are. Just follow that guide, because it will help you. It will help you become a better person, and it will help you have better morals. And it won't have you questioning whether it's wrong or right. And I also believe deep down, we really do know what's wrong and right. We have a conscience. But most of the time, people will ignore it or find excuses to make it seem like it's okay they did this bad thing. It's fine. No, it's not fine. You know, sometimes it's okay. If you make a mistake, all right, you made a mistake, just don't do it again. Just recognize the mistake that you made and just keep doing better every single day. It's the best thing you can do is be a better version of yourself than you were yesterday.
Yeah,
that's all I have to say for
and
that.
I'll say this, I think logically everyone can agree whether you believe in God, gods, nothing, nature. You're not gonna get rewarded by whatever you believe in unless you put in the work. So if you go asking whatever you believe in for a handout, 99.999% of the time it's not gonna happen. That's not the way the world works. Again, whatever the fuck you believe in, logically that's just not how it works. Look at society, look at statistical probability of success. People that complain and wallow and wish for things, they usually don't get it unless they put in the work for it. So
unless they're a Neo baby.
Yeah, unless they're a trust fund baby or some shit like that. You're not gonna get what you want by just begging for it. That's pathetic. Like, have some pride. Have some fucking pride, dude. Honestly, the way I am, this is how I am. As far as religion, I am religious too. I think basically what I said is what I believe in. But as far as pride, it's a double-edged sword. Having too much pride can be to your downfall.
Yeah.
You think you're too arrogant and you think you know it all. You're gonna fail. It is what it is. But you're gonna have that fire to where you gotta say to yourself, I'm not gonna be outworked. You can't beat me. You're gonna have to kill me. It's the only way to stop what I'm doing. That's how the only way this train stops is if you kill me. That's the type of mindset you have to get to success. You got to put the fear of God and all. Honestly, this is how drastic you got to think. Every opponent, every op or enemy, you got to put the fear of God in them. Like, you got to say, if you're in my way, I'm running you the fuck over. You don't have a fucking chance in hell. You got to be a dog. That's the only way you reach success. Look at all the top guys. They all think the same. They're all killers. Michael Jordan, Tom Brady, Jeff Bezos, fucking anyone in any great in any field. Fucking from a scientist to an athlete to a celebrity, they're all dogs. The Rock, whatever, fucking Tate, whatever. They're all dogs.
Yeah, they had their fair share of haters, and I'm pretty sure that didn't break into the point where they thought, oh, maybe I should just give up here. No, they all made huge developments and huge successes in the history, and now they're in the history books, and we can talk about them today because they were memorable people, and that's what everybody wants to share that aspect. Everybody wants to be memorable at some point.
Yeah.
And what you got to do is you got to put in that effort to be that memorable person.
Yeah, not easy.
To make your mark.
No matter when you're stressed out or going through it in life, there's only one answer to help you kind of go up. It's God.
Yeah.
If I'm being honest, it's just, that's it. That's all I have to say really.
Yeah, I think as far as again, whatever you believe in, I think when tough times come, you gotta have that. Whether it's God, whether it's whatever it is, you gotta have something to come back to. To kind of uplift you. I think it's important to have, again, structure. A structure, a fail-safe for when, because we all have mental, I'd say, droughts or mental, valleys where things are just not going our way. You're going to have the right ideology to get through that.
But that's why you also talk about, the bottle, drinking alcohol, getting intoxicated, getting lost into a different world. It's because those things are easy to access. That's why it's so difficult for you to overcome those things, because just because you buy it and you can have easy access to it doesn't mean you should intoxicate yourself into this lost world that has really no good end. It's been proven fact time and time again that if you create yourself in a situation where it's destructive, you're gonna live a destructive life. Whether you try to bring people around you too as well, if you bring those people around you because you're in that destructive wake, it's like a grenade. You're essentially not only destroying your life, but you're destroying their lives too. And not a lot of people are going to be around that. And then you're going to end up being alone. That's why you got to build up that momentum to make sure you don't go to those easily accessible things. If you can easily access the things that you know that are bad for you, then you can easily access the people and the materials and the items listed, like an exercise band or a dumbbell, anything like that, to get back into shape and to improve your life.
Yeah.
Yeah, and there's back to staying in shape and fitness. There's no excuse to not just go on the floor and start doing push-ups. There's no excuse of not being able to go out for a run. You have 24 hours of the day, and you're telling me you can't even spend 5 minutes just to go on the ground and do a few push-ups?
Exactly.
There's no excuses to be fat and lazy and not doing anything. Yeah. But most of the time, people they always have a reason. They always have some dumbass reason why they can't do this and can't do that. If you keep with that mindset, you're always going to be some fat fucking loser doing nothing.
Yeah, exactly. I think guys cope, they mask the real reason, which is laziness.
Yeah.
Or why they don't do something.
They want to make it seem like it's okay.
Yeah, they're masking it with, I don't have time, I have to work, whatever the fuck it is. The truth is you're a fucking loser.
You know who I noticed do this the most too? Is, no offense, but women say that excuse a lot. That it's okay to be overweight and it's okay to do this. So now we're having fat models and stuff. But the truth is, it's not okay. Being overweight or underweight, whatever it is, it's unhealthy. Yeah. It will kill you at the end of the day. Besides how your physical appearance looks, well, one, it doesn't look good. Yeah, but two, it's bad for your insides. It's bad for your health. It's bad for your gut. So, there's no excuse to be overweight. Unless you have some actual fucking disease where you just produce a lot of fat naturally and it's just hard for you, or you just can't gain weight, that's completely different. And even ways, there's still medical ways to help with that.
Yeah, just set a balance, you know? You
know?
You also don't want to overwork out because then, like...
I don't really... To be honest, when it comes to overworking out, I'm starting to notice something about that. It's not really much of a thing.
Yeah, no.
What I'm noticing...
It's only...
no one ever actually overworks out.
You have to be extreme to do that.
You have to be real fucking extreme to do that. I work out pretty much 5 to 6 days a week after a 12-hour fucking shift at work. And if you're telling me you're outworking me, I really fucking doubt it.
Yeah, you gotta be like a professional bodybuilder type shit.
Yeah, you have to be really putting hours in and...
Remember your stretches.
Yeah. Another thing when it comes to overworking out, as I guess you can overdo it if you're just doing too much, like too much intensity at the gym. That's a little bit different. Yeah. But most of the time, it's kind of rare. I was looking up some studies about that. It's not as common as... It was just another excuse people were trying to make so they can underachieve and make themselves feel okay about it.
Yeah.
Still exercise and everything.
I mean, think about like Dragon Ball. I know it's like an anime. But they work their ass off hard every fucking day, you know, and they push themselves. That's overworking out.
Yeah.
But guess what? They win.
Yeah,
they keep winning. And another guy, the Andrew Tate guy. Andrew Tate, like I don't watch him, I watch him. But he apparently he works out 7 days a week, no rest days. And look at this fucking monster. He's strong as hell. You know, he also eats bison and shit like that all day too.
He's clean.
And like. You don't even have to take it for Andrew. Like, look at Tyson. He just went back into shape, and he looks really good. You can tell he's getting back into his, like...
And another thing, too, I after going to all these different fighting gyms, I asked them how often they train. You want to talk about overworking out, bro? They train almost pretty much every day.
Yeah.
Every day. They don't even take days off. Because if you think about it, there is low-key enough time to recover in one little sleep night. Or at least when you do have the one day off, you recover already.
Yeah.
You know, there's constant recovery. And obviously, if you want to recover more, you go a little lighter maybe on your workouts. But fighters, they train every day. There is no off days.
Yeah, that's their life.
There is no off days at all. So if you want to be a good fighter, you got to put in the work every day.
Yeah.
Weightlifting might be a little different. I don't know necessarily how that works.
I mean, it just depends.
Like for bodybuilders... Nah, but even like the best bodybuilders, they work out every day.
Yeah, every
so
day.
When they say like, "Oh, I need 3 days off so I can let my muscles recover," full bullshit.
Yeah.
You just make an excuse so you can be lazy and slack off for those 3 days.
Yeah.
They just work a different part of their body.
Work a different part.
I'll just say this, not to get political, but going back to the fat shit where people are like body positivity. You guys already know my take on this. I don't give a fuck. It's disgusting. It's not a matter of opinion. Being obese is biologically proven to be detrimental to your health. I don't give a fuck if that offends you. If it does, go to the gym, cry about it some more while you lose the weight. At least be fucking, be productive while you cry about it.
Yeah,
it's disgusting.
Why don't we just call it body livability? Because that's more like...
That's not body positivity. That's like body destruction. That's not,
it's like fat acceptance.
Yeah, fat acceptance. Might as well say destructive health habit acceptance. That's what the fuck it is. You're a fat fucking loser that has a higher chance of hypertension, heart disease, diabetes, all that shit, because you're too lazy to go to the fucking gym and you're being fed this bullshit that it's okay, love your curves. It's not curves, that's fat. That's nasty.
Plus, when you walk, you can possibly break your bones because now they have to handle the extra weight of pressure. Just because your bones are sturdy enough to carry your ass now doesn't mean your ass is going to be able to be carried later on.
Go to the fucking gym, man. Don't... If you're playing into that, you're pathetic. I'm sorry. Especially if you're a guy and you're like, oh, I love my body. Yeah. You're a fucking loser.
For a male, have some fucking pride. Yeah. I keep bringing up the word pride,
fucking sad.
But dude, come on. We were supposed to be able to survive in the jungles as caveman and everything. So if you're a fucking male and we're supposed to be the hunters, stop making excuses. Go out and fight that fucking tiger because. There's no excuses. There's just no excuses for you to be fat, lazy, and not doing anything.
The excuse is like, if you got the luxury to be fat, should you be fat?
Yeah. You're basically in a first world country being a fucking fat loser, and basically everything that your ancestors fought for it's in void because you decided to be a fucking fat fuck and not continue great excellence in that bloodline. You're making the bloodline worse. You're a fat fucking loser. You probably have a less statistical probability of reproducing because no girl's gonna want your fat loser ass. That's just the truth. It's disgusting, man. It's disgusting. No excuse about it. fuck all the excuses. Oh, you made me fat. No, you made yourself fat. You're the one that has to eat. You're the one that chose to eat that Twinkie, whatever it is. Disgusting. I'm sorry. It's fucking nasty. The fat model shit is pathetic. It's to cope with your pathetic, nasty lifestyle. That's what it is. It's really that simple. I don't give a fuck if you're offended. If you're offended, go to the gym, cry about it.
Yeah.
I'll just say this to kind of top it all off. But there's like this thing that I heard. It's a quote that I heard of like, what's more important is that you're working to become the certain person of yourself is more important than the person you have been. Yeah, it's important that what you went through kind of defines who you are right now as of today. That's always important, but it's more important like what you're doing to set yourself up for who you're becoming.
Right.
So it's like like they said, all those things that they were saying about working and doing things that you don't want to do on the days that you're just like, I just want to stay home. It's like that's when it really counts. Just like when you go to the gym, I do weightlifting. I don't do like more of the cardio stuff. But as far as weightlifting goes, it's those last few reps that you're tired, and you're like, oh, I already did my 12 reps. Well, go for 15. That's when your muscle will actually grow. That's where where it really counts. It counts in that last stretch where you need to really push yourself to excel. So yeah, that quote of like you becoming the person you want to be is more important than the one you have been. It really sits pretty deep in my mind, just because it's like, okay, like yeah, I've always thought before, like I've been through a lot growing up, and I always thought yeah, like I am the way I am because of what I've been through.
Yeah.
But because of that, it sets me up for tomorrow to be better, tomorrow to do more. I was talking to this guy yesterday or a couple days ago that I'm working on my little side hustle that I'm doing, and I told him like, he's like, when I decided to partner with him, he was like, I'm gonna be on you. He's like, I'm gonna be on you and make sure you're doing your shit. He's like, and if you're not, he's like, I'm gonna call you out on it. I said, yeah, like go ahead, like I was like, I would like to have someone call me out on my shit and be like, hey, you're slacking off, dude, like come on, like let's get back on it. Like, okay, cool. So me and him had a talk, and like he's like, how are you doing? And I was like, I'm not gonna lie, I'm slacking off a little bit. And so he was okay. He's like, well, that's step one, is acknowledging that you're messing up. So when you're messing up, take those actions to fix that, so that you can become that better person that you're supposed to be. And so yeah, now with that, I started to I was like, okay, you know what, let me start working on it more. I did. Now I'm like literally like right there, like at the finish line. And he told me, he was like, dude, he's like, there's this picture that's out there. He's like, I have it on my wallpaper on my laptop. He's like, and he showed me basically what it is, like two, I'm sure all of you guys have seen it. It's two miners. One that is all the way at the end, and he's like, he quit.
Yeah.
And he's right there, and the other one's like a little bit less behind, or further behind, but he's still going. He was like, he told me, he's like, dude, you're right there at that end. You just need to keep going. He's like, don't slack off right now. And I was like, okay. And then sure enough, like the next couple of days, like since I kept pushing myself, things just started like coming to me, and I was like, oh shit, like okay, like I really was right there, Yeah. So yeah, to kind of just top it all off on this topic of motivation and doing things you don't want to do. You never know, because you can't tell the future. You never know when something's is gonna come up. Tomorrow, like I would say, for example, like Jimmy, I'm sure you didn't know, or Jay, you didn't know that that you're gonna get that possibly if you guys do partner, that little sponsorship. You didn't know when that was gonna happen, but you definitely knew. The opportunity came and presented itself. So it's like you don't know, but you just gotta keep going. So it's like, I think there was something else someone told me, is like, don't do things expecting a result, like do things because you want to, and the results will come to you.
Yeah, they come.
And yeah, so it's more of like kind of like how, I don't know if you guys had already mentioned it, but more like when you manifest things.
Manifestation.
Manifestation. It's I believe it's a true thing. When you manifest what you want, it will come to you. It's just gonna take some time. You gotta do the necessary work to get there.
Yeah, definitely.
And I think aside from all that, like you guys pretty much covered everything else that I could think of.
Yeah.
But I would say as far as that goes, just on the days you don't feel like doing it, just think about it. What if you're right there already, and that day you didn't want to do it is the day that you're starting to quit and you're starting to lose yourself, and you're delaying your progress and you have to start over again.
Yeah.
And you're just right there at the end. So, we all got to start somewhere. So it's like the beginning's always going to be hard.
Oh yeah.
What I like to say is always try to be better than you. Always try to be the better
than you were yesterday.
Yeah, better than you were yesterday. Try to always be a better version of you than you were yesterday.
Yeah, you're 1 year away. Most guys don't realize, guys that really put in the work that aren't getting what they want yet, most of them are like only a couple yeses away from their life changing. Some of them are 1 yes away from their life changing. And the truth is, good things come to those that grind. That's just the reality for most people. And bad things come to those that are fucking losers. That's just the reality of life too. So people complain too much about how things work. You can't change reality. Reality is you're gonna have to work and probably not see results for a couple of years, maybe multiple years.
I mean, reality is like even a snail gets somewhere.
Yeah.
So even if you take at it slow, you gotta make sure you're moving.
It's progress. Yeah, progress. Most people get mad at the messenger. Like, dude, I'm telling you these things because that's just the truth. Women want the top dog. Success is hard. Porn is horrible, even though most guys watch it, etc., etc. They all hear that being fat is disgusting. They hear that, they're like, oh my god, blah blah blah, fucking blah. I'm like, that's just the reality. I'm the messenger. Don't kill the messenger. Adjust to reality. If you want reality to be in favor of you, you gotta adjust to the way things are. It's not gonna adjust to you. No one gives a fuck. Again, no one gives a fuck about you unless you're already at the top. No one gives a fuck. Not that bitch that you like. Not your friends at the end. Maybe only your mom and dad if you're lucky give a real shit about you. That's just the reality, man. It is what it is. So take it what you will. And if you want to be a loser and complain, reality just won't be very unkind to you. This is reality. It's a natural order of things. So.
But yeah, we went on our little rant right there about what you should do.
Yeah.
I think we said some pretty cool things. You guys have anything you guys wanted to bring up at all?
Current events.
Anything?
We could talk like
Trump got convicted.
Oh yeah, Trump. Yeah, it's a fucking smear campaign, man. I think.
What's going on with
actually,
Trump?
His campaign actually would raise the most money.
Yeah, it was like 50 million.
It was $39.7 million, something like that, in like 24 hours.
Yeah, that was after he got convicted of these felonies. Apparently, it's
and 29.7% were first-time donors, like new people.
New people.
Yeah.
Do you think this is all a sham?
I think it's definitely a smear campaign. They're reaching for straws just to convict him to lower his chances of winning. I don't know the legality.
I think it just elevated it.
Isn't it crazy that we still have these two guys as like our fucking last hopes? That they're fucking.
Trump, fucking Biden can barely walk across a fucking hall. He's just done like an old ass, senile ass old man. Trump being convicted honestly raised his profile with the supporters he already has, and obviously created more. Because it's very apparent that whatever you want to call it.
His point.
Yeah, you're proving his point. Like him saying, "Oh, the
justice system."
Yeah, the justice system, and the mainstream media, and the Democrats are out to get me. And he kind of proved his point with the dog shit ass fucking felonies that they indicted him for. It's bullshit. I mean, it really is bullshit from decades ago. Some bullshit ass claims over him paying off a porn star, whatever the fuck it is. It's sad as fuck. Honestly, I think it's gonna just, if legality allows, it's gonna increase his chances of winning. Honestly,
and he's still able to run, right?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, he's still able to run.
Yeah.
I don't think the only way you're not able to is if you committed. I think it was if I'm not mistaken, it was a felony. Or something where you're breaking the Constitution, something like that. You can't be.
I think what they're accusing him is a felony.
Maybe. So then maybe I think what it is like a Constitution thing.
Yeah.
You can't if it's a constitutional matter, like if you broke. Because I remember they mentioned it, like if it violates the Constitution, then he can't. But if it's a felony, he's fine because I think they were saying like what? It's just business fraud is what they were trying to get
something
for.
like that.
I was gonna say you got a shiny little laptop right there too.
Oh, and like what we were mentioning earlier too, it seems like like freedom of speech is slightly non-existent.
Diminishing.
It's diminishing.
Yes, yeah, definitely.
And the U.S. doesn't seem like it's standing for what originally it used to stand for. It seems like everything is just going on a downhill spiral.
Yeah.
Which is very sad because I love the U.S.
Okay, so it actually says Donald Trump can still be president as a convicted felon. He's not the first convicted criminal to run for office.
Yeah, yeah.
I thought they were mentioning
it's the Constitution that could block Trump. That's what it was.
There's only 3 requirements. You got to be over 35, a citizen, and be a resident for at least 14 years. So there's nothing about felonies. So I think you could still run.
Yeah. Let
Yeah.
me see what it says for disqualifications.
I know for sure if you've already ran 2 terms, you can't. Like
Yeah,
Obama
2 terms. That's the most you can do.
Yeah, I don't think there really is a way to get them. At least legally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's very, very interesting time, I feel like, for our generation.
Yeah, freedom of speech has definitely been dying and with mainstream platforms for a long time. There's a few that, X especially, is like the fucking advocate, because after Elon bought it out, there's free speech is rampant there. But everywhere else, it's definitely super limited. YouTube, Instagram, Facebook.
I feel like in the beginning of like the 2000s, like the 1990s maybe just 2000s between 2016, nothing was going on, nothing crazy. But then after COVID happened and all this other shit happened,
Just
with
like
the
the
presidents, it's just everything is just weird now.
Yeah,
It's
ever
like,
since Trump ran in 2016 has been like the Trump effect, where there's like super divisive ass fucking country between the left and the right, where it became like extremely personal. Before that, Democrats and Republicans always ran. Like Obama.
Also, there was a George Floyd incident that made it like more riots. Definitely
Like Obama versus Romney, that was very cordial. They were obviously running against each other, but no one shat on Romney the way they did Trump in 2016.
So for clarification, I read right here, what disqualifies someone from being president according to the U.S. Constitution, you cannot be president if you have not reached the age of 35.
Yeah.
Not a natural born citizen. Not been a resident of the United States for at least 14 years. Additionally, if you've been impeached and removed from office, you cannot hold the presidency.
Yeah, which they tried to do, but they failed.
Yeah, which I think I hope they do to Biden, but I doubt they would.
Nah, his old ass is almost out.
I remember the day they were trying to impeach Trump. We were at Albedo's.
I remember that day. Yeah.
There
was some bullshit.
Like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
I think we're still in high school now.
I think we were still in high school when that shit happened. I was like, dude, they're reaching. It's obviously political smear campaign. Yeah, I think they just boosted his support, to be honest. Retarded. Retarded as fuck. You're trying to destroy him like that. Like, even if he's a felon, you can't stop him. You can still run. What the fuck are you gonna do now?
It's kind of like, when you have haters and stuff like that. If they bring you attention by trying to hate on you, they're just helping you out by giving you exposure.
Yeah, their only hope would be jail time, which I don't think they'll get. They're not gonna get him for actual jail time. Maybe fines, but I don't know about jail time.
They're gonna fine a billionaire.
Yeah, there's no criminal record on him. There's nothing serious enough to give him actual jail time. I highly doubt that.
Probably got a private army in Texas.
The only thing that I was hearing was that it was his comments after about the judge and about the justice system, which is why I told Thomas, it feels like your free speech is just being diminished. It's being diminished at this point because they're saying that now, like you said, he has no previous criminal history, but because of his comments towards the judge, calling him a crooked judge, and then how the justice system isn't right and all that stuff, they're saying the judge can decide if he wants to use that as defamation or something like that.
Yeah.
Isn't that funny?
They would try that.
That's crazy.
Isn't that funny where he was calling them out like, hey, I'm gonna expose all your exploits and say that I used them against you, and then you guys then they basically called him out, and it's like, okay, then why'd you use it? It's like, well, because you guys haven't taken anything out, you haven't fixed it. So I used what you used.
You're talking about the debate with Hillary.
Yeah.
With her sponsors.
Yeah, and that was so long ago, and look at them do it exactly again.
The tax loops. Mm-hmm. They all use it.
And he told her well, you could change it, but you didn't want to.
Yeah. All these people who had this power to fix all this, and this guy called them motherfucking out. And then it's like, oh, you called us out? Well, let's just make your life a living fucking hell.
Yeah, they're all over him. Yeah, he's probably going to win. Biden is the only... He's probably going to be the Democratic nominee. I doubt he'd win again. Trump's probably going to win. He's probably going to win. I don't see anyone else. Maybe RFK. He's a Democrat.
I would be really surprised.
Kennedy?
And I would think it's rigged if Biden
Another
win
Kennedy?
I
again.
don't think he's going to beat Biden out, though. I think Biden's probably still going to be the nominee for the Democrats.
It's really weird how this is like going down. It feels like
the U.S. is gonna come to shit soon.
yeah.
Especially if Trump loses.
If Trump loses, it's gonna be the downfall of the U.S.
Yeah.
But if you think about it, every point in history, there's always a main thing. Like you had Rome era, and then what was after that? It was
Rome, and then probably
there's a few more, but then there was like the British era.
British.
They were taking over everything.
UK.
I think the U.S. just has a very odd focus. That we're very focused on like other European nations instead of like. I always think about this too, like our own continental like countries too. Like I know it might seem like a lost cause, but there's actually a country like you probably heard about in the news, Haiti. It's fucked. Like their whole government is shut down. Like they killed the president and everything.
Mm-hmm.
And now they're only now being like, okay, we gotta send some UN troops over there to try to fix this from all the gangs that are here. It's like, wow, it's kind of too late. The government fucking collapsed. All these other countries, you literally go like, okay, we'll send weapons. This guy, okay, well, we'll just wait out and see.
Yeah, Haiti's been a third world country for so long. Yeah, it's a shit show down there. I think Biden's just, even by the Democrats, he's not well liked anymore. I highly doubt he'd win again. I'd be surprised if he wins again.
Well, he's going back on his word on a lot of things. Like I think from what I like, this is so-so, right? It's like, he's only getting this from random information. It's like, well, yeah. There's also a lot of random information that says that he's building like oil plants, or he tried to build oil plants up in Alaska when he said he wouldn't.
Yeah. I
mean, there's a lot of people who go back in the world. And now he's doing things. He's actually doing a lot of things that Trump has said. And Trump tweeted about it, I think. He's like, where have you been? I think he put more tariffs on China, even though he said he wanted to work on relations, but it ended up backfiring because China doesn't want to work with anybody because they still want Taiwan, and then they were trying to take more of the islands, and they were like, we're just fuck with anybody because we're a superpower. And America's like, well, we can't have you doing that because those are our friends.
Yeah, I think Biden's very unpatriotic. He prioritizes sending funding to like foreign nations instead of like domestic. Like when Hawaii was on fire, he sent them less money than he did fucking Ukraine.
Mm-hmm.
Bro, that's
$700. Have you guys heard about that conspiracy in Hawaii about what's her name, Oprah?
Oh, I think I might have
how she had bought property there.
She did,
but yet they forced everyone out. All the actual residents there, they forced everyone out, but she was allowed to keep her property.
Yeah, that's crazy, dude. It's definitely it's crazy how unpatriotic Biden is. I mean, I think him personally, he's a senile. I don't think he knows what the fuck's happening half the time, but his cabinet is super unpatriotic. I highly doubt they'll win again.
Looks like he's like a puppet.
Yeah, he literally is just a puppet. The cabinet just tells him what to say on the fucking teleprompter.
That's not even the only thing about like just fucking Hawaii being burnt and not getting any help.
Give
like
them like fucking $100, a couple $100 to each person, and give billions to Ukraine. I'm like, that's great priorities, retard.
And then we got like a border crisis going on. It's like, oh, by the way, we're just gonna flood in these hundreds of thousands. That's not. I'm not saying this. Most of you, like, I do care about other people's lives, but I also care about my own countries and citizens' lives who are actually going. Right? It's just like a more patriotic thing, because not only am I going to be fighting against my own citizens who probably have a higher education than these people, but now these people who are more hardworking and more willing to take the risk are going to be my competitors too.
Yeah.
And then where does that lie? And then if I become homeless, there's no homeless shelters, by the way, especially in California. California has the worst fucking homeless problem in the fucking world.
Yeah.
Like,
it's weird.
It's so bad.
I honestly thought that was normal. I really thought it was normal, the amount of homeless people that are here.
We can't even... It's not even bad as, like, New York. New York, straight up, I think they have a law where you can't even give food to homeless people.
Really?
Yeah. You can't. It's against the law.
Yeah.
I think it's fine. No, you can't feed the homeless.
I think Biden's open border policy is retarded. I mean,
I don't like that at all.
Yeah, they have, like, fucking hundreds, like... thousands and tens of thousands of people coming to these sanctuary cities, and these cities don't even want them. New York's like, fuck that.
Where are you gonna put them? That's the thing. That's
Yeah,
the question. Like, where are you gonna put them? You can't put them in places that are already populated because then where are those people gonna go?
It's not efficient. Yeah, it's not an efficient system whatsoever. I think.
That's crazy.
Like New York, they don't want, even the democratic cities don't want them. Like, there's too many people, we can't handle it. I mean, you're the ones that fucking wanted this stupid ass policy in the first place. Take care of them. Like,
And then you have the ones that, I'm going to say that, undocumented ones, because if I say illegal, then people get offended. But the undocumented ones, they'll come in, and it's like, oh, then why can't he come in here? Like, he just wants to seek asylum. It's like, yeah, you seek asylum through the place where you seek asylum through.
Yeah.
You just don't go in, and then we expect your record to be clean. And then you're in a, like, working somewhere, and they can't find you anywhere. And then that's why they keep you in a system. They want to know before you get in.
Yeah, like taxpayer, they don't pay taxes, they don't have social security number.
Oh, yeah, and we're paying for your shit, too. I think New York had a plan where they're going to give all the people, all the migrants, like, credit cards based on, like, taxpayer dollars, too. And they're going to get that, too.
Priorities are just not in the right place. Like, there has to be a more efficient way to... What about the people that waited actual 10 years to get official, like... entrance. Those guys should be pissed. Like, I waited 10 years and these fuckers got in here yesterday.
Yeah.
Like, come on, man.
What about our veterans?
Or
what about those guys?
yeah.
We started taking care less of them. We don't give a fuck
about them at all. Or
their
Hawaii.
health plans are fucked.
They don't give a fuck about
It's
Hawaii.
way worse
either.
than they were before.
Yeah.
We completely dogged on them. These are people who defended our country. Are you kidding me?
You give a fuck about them.
We're giving people who don't rightfully deserve. I know this is a country built on immigrants and everything, but you got to think about our people too, because we're struggling just as it is. And you think these people really want to go to a country that's more expensive? Way
Hawaii,
more
man.
expensive.
Yeah, they don't give a fuck about domestic problems. That's the problem, especially with Biden's stupid ass. Or not him, because he's senile. It's his stupid ass cabinet. That's what it is. His retarded ass VP, fucking cabinet, stupid as fuck. It's all emotionally based decisions. Like, dude, it's not efficient. Like, look at the shit show in New York and here with all the migrants. Again, every migrant should have every law-abiding migrant should have a chance to come in here, but it should be done the right way, efficiently, not a shit show where like everyone's getting fucked over, not just them, like everyone, domestic and foreign, are getting fucked over. It's a shit show, man. It really is. I'd be shocked if Biden wins this time. That's all I got to say.
I think it'll be definitely rigged if he wins. It's not looking good for the U.S.
Yeah, there's no way he wins again. No fucking way. RFK, I think, has a better chance. He's the only Democrat that seems okay, but. I think Trump probably wins. I think he beats anyone against him this year. I don't see anyone taking him out.
All of his like competitors basically dropped out the minute they went against him.
Yeah.
Ellie was like the only one that lasted longest, and then she was like, "Yeah, I'm not gonna make."
All of them got Ramaswamy dropped out. Like fucking all of the Republican nominees that could have been nominee dropped out.
They dropped out to endorse Trump.
Yeah, they're endorsing him now.
All the people that were against him was like, "Oh, he's not a bad guy anymore." It's like, "Oh, really?" When he's winning, doesn't that feel right? They're right on that dick.
Dos Santos basically went to his knees and fucking endorsed Trump.
Dos Santos, Ramaswamy. I think Ramaswamy had a good chance, but he's not more popular than Trump.
Everybody likes riding that bandwagon. So fun.
I think Trump was gonna make him vice president.
Yeah, he would be a good vice president. He's smart. Yeah. But yeah, politics is a fucking mess, man. It's a fucking mess.
Sorry, my bad. Fucking. Anyways, besides politics, I guess we'll talk about another topic. I didn't mean to get so political, everybody.
Yeah, if you're offended, I don't give a fuck.
I don't give a fuck. But anyways, you guys ever heard of the Mandela Effect?
Oh yeah, we were talking about this before. The Mandela
We were talking
Effect.
about this before the podcast.
Yeah.
Do you know how to explain the Mandela Effect?
Yeah, I would say it's basically a false memory that large amounts of people all have and believe to be a true memory, but when you fact check it, it's not. It's a weird, like...
There's a video, this kid, he took a video of like him like looking at like this thing on TV.
Yeah.
Like back then. And then when he looked at it now, it was different. And it was like separated from 14 years. It was him as a little kid. He made a video. And then when he looked at the company again, it was different.
Damn.
And so let me see if I can find the video.
Yeah, the Mandela Effect, if I had to try to logically rationalize it, I think some of them have reasons for it. Like, perhaps like something you believe was true was similar, like in the actual, like what it actually was. So you believed it was something else similar to it.
What was the story with the Mandela Effect? I think it was this guy named Mandela who was working on a project and somehow blew up the universe, and then we're in another dimension that's twinned with ours, originals. That's why some people have certain memories of the other universe and people don't.
Yeah.
That's what I was getting from the Mandela Effect. Some science, pretty much some science experiment that went wrong, and that's why people have these faulty memories.
Yeah, the guy's name. What's his fucking
Sounds
name?
pretty cool.
Something Mandela.
Mandela Effect origin. Let's see.
Yeah. Look up the origin of the Mandela Effect.
The term was originated in 2009 by Fiona Broom, after she discovered that she, along with a number of others, believed that Nelson Mandela had died in the 1980s when he actually died in 2013.
Okay, never mind. I'm wrong then.
What the hell? Let me see. Britannica.
I heard a few different things. It was weird.
Yeah, it says a group of people collectively remember facts, events, or other details in a consistent manner. A paranormal researcher conceptualized the effect after discovering that she and others possessed strong yet false memories of the death of anti-apartheid activist Nelson Mandela. Yeah, I would say that theory, I mean, it's definitely plausible. I think as far as the universe, we only understand a fraction of it. Even like the top level astrologists or astronomers, they barely understand what the fuck we're looking at.
The universe is very weird, especially when it comes to like what a black hole is.
Yeah.
There's so many different things that people believe what a black hole is. It's either like it could like teleport you. I don't know. What do you guys think a black hole is?
Oh,
wow. Black hole, I know nothing can escape it, not even light, which is like the fastest thing in our universe that's been recorded. I think there's endless possibilities. It could just be a destructive force that can't be escaped. It could be a literal like fucking dimension portal once you go in there, since obviously you can't prove one way or the other since no one's returned from a black hole, or it probably would have been one. As far as the universe, we're barely scratching the surface about like what the fuck we know about. There's an infinite amount of theories that could be plausible because we just don't know. There is no way to prove or deny anything yet.
Yeah.
As far as the Mandela Effect and that kid's theory, the infinite parallel universes thing is possible. Again, we don't know what the fuck we're looking at. Any theory that sounds remotely viable can be considered as possible. It's just that we don't know yet. That's the problem. Technology, our own brain's limitations. There are many reasons as to why we can't make anything fact yet as far as like the outer universe and what's beyond. The Mandela Effect can have many logical reasons. It could be maybe we are like fucking like connected to other dimensions where we have other fucking memories. That's possible. Or it could be we thought of something that was similar to the actual thing. That's possible too, which is a more simple explanation. There's infinite amount of explanations. The way I do, bringing out the debate side, I usually go with the simplest explanation. Mm-hmm. To me, it's more than likely because we remember things that are similar to what actually is. Now, that's not every Mandela Effect case, like the Mandela dying in 2013. In 1980, everyone believed he died in 2013. That's definitely strange that many people got it wrong. But even then, multiple people can get something wrong. It is all incorrect.
Do you believe in the Mandela Effect?
Yeah, I believe it's a thing. Certainly a thing now. The origin of it is debatable. I think it is a thing that many people could have the same false memory for a multitude of reasons. As far as why, that's the theory that people keep trying to create, like why it happens. But that definitely happens. You can see it in your everyday life. You can see it recorded. You can see it documented. There's an infinite amount of reasons. Do you
think some stuff, because the Mandela Effect, create conspiracies?
Oh yeah, I think curiosity creates conspiracy. Like not to get again controversial, but like 9/11, the way the buildings went down, like that looks like a controlled explosion. That curiosity created the conspiracy theory, or the Pizzagate shit with, honestly, I feel bad for that pizza place because it's been proven not to be a pedophile ring. They get fucking like shot at and fucking their shit destroyed. The owner said, I don't even have a basement. The fuck you talking about? But I feel that was curiosity caused that.
Because I ask, because it's like, if the Mandela Effect is based off a false memory that we have of something, there's also, I know Joe Rogan talked about it, but it's about the moon landing. How they're saying, like, there's proof that, or there's stuff out there that shows like it's not, that it never really happened. Yeah. That it's all like it was used as a green screen.
Yeah, it's.
What do you guys think of that?
And
the moon landing.
And that the first people who actually did land on the moon would be Russia.
Yeah, I think it's a possibility that was fabricated because there was this sort of like arms race.
The videos too.
Yeah.
From back then and now, of what they really looks like. completely different. They question how is the video so clear of what the moon looks like.
I would say even logically there was an arms race between Russia, China, and the U.S. to get to the moon. So you could argue one of them we lied about getting there just to rub it in Russia's face. That's definitely a possibility. Do I think it's a possibility that it's fake? Yeah, it's definitely a possibility. The best way to prove it would be like to have like a computer scientist check the video and prove like fabrication. Like, oh, this is a video. It's not.
Joe Rogan even like, you know how they show the footprint?
Yeah.
Joe Rogan even showed he showed the footprint and then he showed the actual boot and he's like, they don't even match.
Yeah, there's definitely, it's plausible. I think it's at that time that was like a whole thing. Like it was like superhero pride. Like, oh, who's gonna get there first?
Yeah.
Like, let's fucking do it right now. So it's definitely possible. I think now it's definitely plausible. You can go to the moon now. You see fucking rockets going in the sky like before our eyes. But
do you guys believe in aliens?
I think there's definitely something beyond.
I think there's something out there.
Yeah, I definitely think. Even again, the debate side coming out. I mean, think about how many galaxies, how many planets within those galaxies, like how the sheer amount of numbers of planets that exist.
I mean, you can only just take the facts by looking up, because if you see all those lights in the sky, that's each one has a star, and each one has
bodies.
each one has like multiple planets. Like our system alone has 8 of them.
Yeah.
8. That's a fucking shit ton of planets,
like
considering that.
Yeah, think about
Think about Pluto.
Think about the fact that there are billions of galaxies, and within those galaxies are billions of fucking celestial bodies. You're telling me not one other one has living life on it? Come on, that's like statistically impossible almost to fucking even fathom. So I think us being the only living like fucking planet that has life on it is very, very unlikely. And I think there's some type of alien, whether they're green, purple, whatever the fuck they are, whether you think they're demons or whatever the fuck. I think there is something extraterrestrial like that.
There's always a lot of hints of it out there. Supposedly, like Mars.
Yeah, Mars.
It looks like there's hints of a civilization that used to live on Mars, because they're finding metal scraps that are on Mars. They're finding building-looking things that are on Mars that look like buildings but are destroyed.
Yeah.
So this leaves you to questions like, was there actually a civilization there living there, and then what happened to them?
Yeah.
Maybe they're living underground. Maybe they abandoned it. That's a lot of questions. That's one thing I wonder about Mars. Is, do you guys think possibly that there's something on Mars still, whether there was something before or not?
I would say the fact that, even the Pentagon has like documentations of UFOs. I would say if there was, the life forms on there are just too smart for us to find out. I think if there's literal like fucking the Pentagon, it's theoretical, but they say like there's this extraterrestrial that was like, there was like a mothership and it had like dandelion ships that were like moving across fucking large distances in like seconds. Something that smart will never catch them. Like they're way too intelligent, way too advanced.
That sounds crazy.
Yeah, like it's I think it's on the Pentagon's website. Like it's theoretical. They're not saying for sure, but if that's the case, we're honestly like ants to them. They're like fucking overlords that could fucking come and do whatever the fuck they want. We'd be fucking useless. Like,
I was gonna say, from what I heard about like everything in space.
Yeah.
Aside from like the alien thing, was that I heard like a theory that we might be the one, like, okay, like where things might become into like a galaxy warfare.
Yeah.
So where there's theories that believe that I think it's what is it, Uranus, the big orange one without the ring. That's Saturn, right?
Saturn
has
is with the ring.
Yeah, it's with the ring.
So the one without it is what, Uranus?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that one, they believe that one is actually you can actually live in that one, and they think that there's actually people that live in there.
Wow.
In that planet. But they said that you can't see it because it's supposed to be all like filled with clouds and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Gas planet.
Gaseous
Yeah.
planet, yeah.
So they're saying that what if, like, to us, we think of those, maybe if there is life over there, whatever it is, that we think of them as like they're not normal because we're normal.
Yeah.
So they're thinking like, okay, what if they think they're gonna think the same thing about us?
Yeah.
And then eventually, with these aliens popping up, and then they're thinking, okay, what if maybe those aren't even aliens? What if we call them aliens, but those are people on other planets?
Yeah.
And then what if another planet that actually does have life, looks a certain way, but they haven't learned how to freaking fly yet.
Yeah,
you know?
they're more primitive. Yeah, like if they could fly and fucking move distances in a couple seconds, we're fucking inferior.
Even if we could see them, like they're like, let's say they're not in our solar system, and they're like light years away. We're only seeing them at their past.
Yeah,
we're not seeing them at present.
Light's traveling.
Yeah.
So like anybody seeing us
like
would be seeing dinosaurs.
Yeah.
Those motherfuckers.
Light travels.
There's life there, but they're all dumb as fuck.
Like galaxies, like millions of galaxies of light years away. We're seeing like the past.
Mm-hmm.
They're barely coming to us at that speed because even for light to travel, it takes fucking millions of years. So it's super kind of you kind of are staring at the past in a way. I'd say, as far as aliens, the way I look at it is if they're that advanced, where they're fucking zooming across solar systems in seconds, where it takes us like fucking years just to go to Mars with a fucking rover. We're inferior, and they could do whatever the fuck they want to us.
Yeah.
That we'd basically be their bitches. They could come down here. Honestly, I don't think they think the way we do. I think they think it's such an advanced way we can't even perceive it. They're like, oh, you guys use cars? Well, you fucking teleport. Like they're way above us. Like,
what the hell is eating?
Like morality is probably not even a thing to them. They're probably like, oh, we're machines, bitch. Like you guys are retarded. That's probably the way they look at us, to be honest.
Probably don't even have to talk. They can probably talk with their minds.
Telepathically, yeah, honestly.
Did you guys see the video of where they actually collected non-human alien corpse from Peru?
Oh, I think I heard about that.
Yeah, that in the little box.
Yeah, and it's like a fucking like small little skeleton with like a big head. It's like E.T.
You believe it?
I feel like I don't believe it, or maybe I don't
could
know.
Be fake.
Okay,
yeah.
I'm like stuck because it's like, when did E.T. come out? Like back in fucking 2000s, right?
2000.
Yeah. So it's like, why does it look just like E.T. but yet who made the movie of E.T. and they made it so identical?
Yeah.
It does look
It's
very
like,
identical.
so that means either the person who created E.T. has some type of knowledge about that, or the government created the movie E.T. because they have all the findings of, real proof before they told us, oh yeah, they're real.
Yeah.
So it's like either this is fake, that they're just making some fake shit like they did with the moon, saying that we went there first or whatever.
Yeah.
Or it's actually real, so the creator of the movie E.T., I'm thinking has something to do with that, but no one's talking about it.
I don't think they'll ever show us like maybe the corpses, maybe, but I do think for us, like there's some tech that feels like it's stolen from aliens, right? You feel like that?
Oh, that's
like
actually
definitely a theory,
that's actually a theory that my dad has. Military theory supposedly is that's why we have iPhones, is because of specific amounts of UFO crashes that happen. We stole that technology from it.
Yeah.
Whether it was that or governments already made deals with the UFOs and they're already in contact with UFOs.
It's like, let me see your shit.
Yeah.
That's
it was,
why
it was Steven Spielberg that created E.T.
Yeah, he's a popular director too.
So it's like, what does he know about aliens?
Yeah.
And I mean, this thing came out
Poke at his
in
brain.
1982.
Holy fuck.
Let's also talk to the creator of The Simpsons.
The Simpsons.
See that
Tell him the
too.
future like 20 times.
So it's like, it comes to, it makes you kind of think like, okay, when you put all these pieces together, and obviously using common knowledge and common sense, you're not gonna see that picture of a fucking, of this alien, and then think like, oh, like, that's not real.
Yeah.
But yet, you see the fucking movie, and it looks just fucking like it.
Fucking
like
E.T.
this motherfucker right here.
It does.
So it's like.
It's like, you called me on set? Oh, shit. We're doing conspiracies, okay.
Like, bitch, I was an alien in the movie. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, so it's kind of like, it's like when you kind of put those things together, it's like, how can you really say it's not true?
Yeah.
How can you really fight that, oh, it's not true, besides the fact, oh, we never seen it for real,
Yeah, that's the main argument. It's like, oh, I need to see it to believe it. I'm like, dude, look at the mathematical standpoint, it's statistically damn near impossible that there's not something else out there.
Yeah.
It's so many galaxies, so many planets.
I mean, don't they have like a rough picture of what the universe would look like, and it looks like exactly what our neurons in our head look
it's
like?
like a fucking huge network of fucking shit in the fucking sky.
they're all,
It's weird how we try to say like zooming out the universe. It's like we're like an egg-shaped looking thing,
Yeah.
and then just nothingness.
Yeah, it's a bunch of nothing.
From what we know, I mean, it could be an expanse of like webs, like kind of like how. Like
it
Marvel
could be an
movies.
egg, and then if you zoom out of that, then there's more eggs.
I think they
all
say.
around it.
I think they say that they theorize the universe is ever expanding. It's still expanding.
Do you think it's still expanding as like from the Big Bang?
There's a
The
couple.
Big Bang, like you think it's just.
There's a couple of
like,
theories.
we're still in
on,
the
like,
Big Bang.
Actually, there's a couple of theories on how the end, well, like of the universe would be. It's called either the Big Chill, the Big Heat, Big Rip, or the Big Condense, where everything either condenses into one, and then becomes super galaxy, whatever the fuck. And then one is like if it keeps stretching, then everything just becomes too separate. So where even like Andromeda, something like that, it seemed pretty distant, even though it's coming towards us. But everything else, like our neighbors, are gone. And then the Big Heat, like the universe is getting so hot that like literally the universe itself is getting hot. Then it's getting the temperature itself is getting hotter. That one's a far-fetched one. And then the Big Freeze is the opposite, where everything is getting colder because stars are dying.
Yeah.
And being like black holes, which means
It's weird how the whole universe and galaxies work. You know, you basically got floating rocks, and then you have gas that's constantly around with certain types of radiation that's in space.
and then we have gravity. We don't even know how the fuck that shit works because it can warp space like in time essentially.
Well, gravity works usually from the power of like suns and like the black hole.
Well, explain that to black holes.
Yeah, like every celestial body has a gravitational pull. I
Mhm.
think the bigger the planet, the more gravitational pull. Like if we were on fucking Jupiter, it would be heavy as fuck probably. It's a larger.
Yeah.
Like the pull is greater. Fucking 20 pounds here is probably like fucking 10,000 pounds over there or some shit. So.
I'm a thick boy over
But
there.
the sun, I mean, we'd burn alive getting close. But if we were actually to
Before
walk
we
on
could-
it, we'd probably be like 10,000 pounds on the fucking sun because of how strong the fucking gravitational pull is. I mean, fucking planets are revolving around it. It's how
I
strong.
mean,
it is.
those fucking solar flares, the little rings, like those things are bigger than the fucking planet itself.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, the sun.
Those are scary as
There's a
fuck.
theory that it'll die out eventually. Like it'll go through the same phases as any other star, but
It's our
obviously
middle age though.
billions of years.
But they think ours is gonna become like a super red giant, which means they'll live longer, but then like it would just get really fucking
I
big.
think expand. Episode 2.
Episode motherfucking 2.
Alright, everyone, sorry for that little cutoff that just happened. We were into two different conversations, but the phone ended up running out of storage.
Yeah.
So now we're on another phone. So
But y'all need to know that now.
we were talking about war and possibly the second coming. But you know what? That's just gonna have to come. We're
know
gonna
what?
to be continued that conversation.
Yeah.
That is a long conversation.
What did
to
we
talk
used to
about
do
that.
in high school, bro? You just fucking Jimmy's all like,
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
I just
But
show you.
it's time to get out of here, everybody. So we're just gonna end the episode off here, and I just want to say thank you guys for tuning in. I
Subscribe.
appreciate all the views and everything that you guys are doing. Thanks to the whole crew here for today for coming in and
that
making
one.
this podcast.
Yeah.
And, yeah, everybody, you have a good one, and remember, folks, time to face reality.
Yes, sir.
Bye.
Latest.
Peace.
Alright, fuck it, that's good enough. I'm like, fuck it, that's good enough.
Good enough. Okay.
Pussy.